It's been nice.
This is
to see me.
I'm here with singer-songwriter.
No, I don't sing like that.
I'm gonna say
You
that.
just
Don't you worry. All right, so welcome back to another episode of Bid on You. This is Cindy B. I'm
today, 2015.
You said, Today we are going to get into the dating tea. I know y'all have been chomping at the bit to get into somebody's business besides your own. So I brought somebody else's business for y'all to get into. But our guest today is singer-songwriter Ataia.
Hello.
And we're going to get into a little bit of everybody's business today. So let's stick around and let's start the show.
Oh, no.
Woo. Okay, do you want to do a little like intro of who you are? Let the people know where they can find you, what you're doing right now.
My name
I was born.
is Alana. No, I'm kidding. My name's Ataia Gabriel. I'm from New York. Lived in DC for a while and lived in Nashville. And then moved here in 2018 for music because that's what I do. I write for other artists in TV and film and whatever. Honestly, anything creative I kind of do, which I feel like everyone here does.
You come to the right place.
Yeah. I'm also into the fitness industry too.
She is. Boxer.
Yeah. That's pretty much, I mean, there's a lot to me, but that's like the gist.
That's the spiel. That's the quick bio for the girls.
Yeah,
Buy the book.
Elevator pitch.
Exactly, as it should be. So we do this little thing on the show. It used to be Member of the Week. It's now called Member of the Month. Cute. So we can just keep it of all the internet consumption that I have, I have too many flowing through me at one time. So since we're talking today about how to spot red flags in the relationships, but we'll talk a little about red flags in friendships in life, just what you need to avoid to navigate this burning earth that we are 100%. Cohabitating on. So before we get into that, speaking, I thought it was funny to use this one. I'm calling it Hoodie Gate. So I'm going to describe it and then you tell me if you've heard about it on the interwebs. But basically, there were these two girlies. So they were younger, like earlier 20s. So maybe this is why she handled it that way. But basically this girl made a TikTok about a friendship breakup. Yeah. And she talked about how the girl would borrowed her boyfriend's hoodie and didn't give it back. And then you didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh, well, let me try to describe it for
weird.
real. So basically, okay, at first the girls were like, this is lame. And you're like, boy. And why are you doing that? And you could have communicated with her. But then we saw the boyfriend. That man, I said, oh, she did everything they said you did. When I saw that man, mind you, the hoodie was he fine.
Oh, fuck.
So I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was like, damn, my girl's working an angle. Because I was ready to be like, now you should have talked to her. Life doesn't revolve around men. This time,
no.
I hate to side with a man. Forgive me.
No, yeah.
No, he's fine.
Damn.
Tough. But basically she just was like, I feel like
something like a fine toxic man.
We don't even know that he's toxic. Essentially, they were liking each other. They were flirting. This is the girl.
But this is the
girlfriend story. So before they became boyfriend girlfriend, she was out with this past friend.
Okay.
Everybody was like, which this was another thing. That friend was like, oh, go over and I'll try to set y'all up. Which I was like, okay, so I don't know, because there are some girls that are weird as hell and that will do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm thinking it's you, girl. I'm thinking it's you. Plus, in her video, no shade, but she was putting on makeup, but nothing was happening, and it was frustrating me. So I was trying to listen to the story. But basically, what I got from that was, then she was like, we were all hanging out in a big group at her boyfriend's house, and he was not her boyfriend yet, but everybody knew we liked each other, whatever that means.
Sure, talking,
okay.
Whatever.
And then the girl was cold, so she was like, okay, girl, be warm, borrow his hoodie, whatever.
Oh.
Time goes by. She doesn't give the hoodie back.
Did she ask for it back though?
What? You shouldn't have to ask for it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she was let me get the hoodie back.
Sometimes you take hoodies and then you completely forget about it.
She didn't, because she starts posting in the hoodie. She made a video that was help me style this hoodie. Mind you, it's the hoodie, I have it. It's a black Nike hoodie with a swish. Girl, put some jeans on. You know what I mean?
But also, that's weird to make
leggings
videos
on and go lay down.
I get if you forget about it. I totally
no.
Get that.
It was
her
canon
actively.
event.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was her Roman Empire.
Paraded, yeah,
she was, and then apparently she put him on her close friends, and was posting in the hoodie, and then was posting what the girlfriend described as attention traps, which leave that up to
if
whatever that could be.
And your close friends
now,
and posted
to be fair, we're a fair show. Are we?
I don't know.
But basically her side of it was like, oh, this really sucks. I had to find out on the internet why you disappeared out of my life, which is shitty. I will give her that. But she basically, her side of the story was, oh, well, I forgot. I suck at giving hoodies back. Okay, maybe. And then she said, I added everybody from that night at that event on my close friends. I was like, that's weird. But the youth, they be doing anything.
I mean, to give her the benefit of the doubt, like, I put everybody on my close friends that I know in person. If I don't
but you have like a following. So it's different.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that she did. But anyway, she had like answers to pretty much everything. And then the last thing was like, the girl was like, oh, she got my boyfriend a sandwich because he mounted a TV for her, which I was like, that sounds normal. Yeah. So everything pretty much was like, oh, okay, until we saw the man. And then we realized, and then we were like, oh, yeah, she was planning something.
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck? Yeah. He was fine. And then once you think, like, when you add on him being fine to, like, I'm going to parade around in your hoodie and take photos.
Yeah, that's definitely, like, trying to, like.
You want him to swipe up and be like, oh, my hoodie.
Yeah. 100%.
So.
Interesting. People are funny.
In that way.
Why would you go through all that?
Because they're a red flag.
Yeah. That's a giant
and that brings us into our episode.
Yes.
Let's start off. So that's friend red flags. We'll table that. But luckily, I didn't hear any red flags from the dating side in that story, but I'm sure there are some in real life. So let's talk about some non-negotiables when you're going into like a dating relationship, when you're like with someone or you're starting to be with someone. What are things that you're like, this is a hard rule, hard fast, like I can't do without?
Obviously my answers have changed in the last month.
Lord have mercy.
But I'm gonna say,
buckle up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if someone is constantly talking about their ex,
ooh,
and like
flag on the play. Yeah. That's what I say. Flag on the play.
Yeah, if someone's constantly talking about their ex and never take accountability for anything, then that's a giant red flag. Because obviously it takes two to tango, you know? Especially
don't take accountability for their relationship with their ex.
Or accountability for whatever part they played in it.
Yeah.
You know?
So you mean negatively talking about the ex, I'm
yeah.
Or like, really at all, because what are we talking about them for?
Yeah, exactly.
We're here together now,
and
so
like
live in the present.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in front of you, so that's crazy.
100%.
Focus. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely like, so for me, especially as like women who date men, I think how you speak about a woman is like really indicative. 100%. And how you'll speak about somebody else is how you'll speak about me. I think in anything in life, how they'll treat somebody else, they're capable of treating you that way.
But you get in this like headspace of like,
he wouldn't do me that
special.
way. I'm different.
Like,
he told me I was different. Don't be a dummy.
Me.
That's what this episode is about.
No,
how to keep y'all from being
100%.
dum-dums.
Yeah.
The suckers. Literally. Oh, is that what they call them? Dum-dum. And this is a sucker. Yeah. No, we've all been somebody's dum-dum. Don't worry. But that's why we're here to help.
Yeah.
Here's what we wish we knew. Okay, so that's kind of like, I would say those are like the things that we really look out for. And then on the other side of it, it's like what we don't want. Those are like, major red flags. And we'll go through a list of them. I would say non-negotiables for me and like what you need to have. I like what you said about accountability. So like the ability to say, oh, I messed up and like apologize.
That is like the most attractive thing to me.
Oh my gosh. So that'll do something for you.
No, really.
It really like gives humility.
Yeah. And also it shows that you're willing to see yourself in maybe not the best light and then make changes, which like I feel like a lot of people don't want to do that. You know,
they're not interested.
Yeah. Because it's hard. It's hard to like see yourself and be like, okay.
And ultimately, that's what a relationship is literally a mirror. I don't know why everybody says that phrase, but then if I think about it, it really does make you're so aware of everything. Because dopamine and like your hormones in your life is like heightened. Yeah. But also because this other person is like kind of your constant versus when you're single, I'm my constant. So like, I feel like we're doing okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then when you have another person to be like, you forgot this or you didn't do this or what, like, damn.
Yeah.
Am I the worst that ever lived? And so
Am
like,
I the problem?
Is it me? So I think, I would say from my previous, like more serious relationship, it was just figuring out, okay, everything is not always your fault, but then if it is, like, how do we move forward from that?
Yeah, and there's a balance of both. Like, obviously, you can't just always think it's your fault.
That's a red flag. If you're shouldering all the blame, It's never their fault. It's always something you did. You breathed too hard, and that's why I'm in a bad mood.
That's a huge red flag.
Like, you damn near about to get your ass beat. Honestly, like, I hate to say it. But
the funniest
they
thing
finna start hitting you.
Is like when you go to apologize and you're like, okay, I can understand how you perceived it to be that way.
Ooh.
Or like,
sorry.
If my words came out that way, like, I'm sorry, that's not how I meant it, you know? And then somebody else coming out being like, yeah, exactly. Like, you, like, they don't take any
like share of the blame.
Yeah. And you're just like,
it's a two-way street.
Like, I really mean what I say, because I, you know, but it's like,
help me here.
Then you start being like, wait.
Now that I think about it, I just said that to keep the peace. Yeah, absolutely. And then I would probably say another non-negotiable now at this big age is I don't want to say some shit that I struggle to do. I guess that's what it should be.
Yeah. But I mean, we all struggle with all the things that we say.
Apparently, I'm not perfect. It's so weird.
It's crazy.
Breaking news. You've heard it here first. I'll delete it. Don't worry.
You just keep in, I'm
just
perfect.
Edit it out. Apparently, I'm perfect. Like blip. But communicating. Like, what's wrong with you? We are grown.
Oh.
Say it with your chest.
God.
Speak up.
It's like so crazy to me when grown-ass men cannot communicate.
Yoo-hoo!
Like,
is this thing on?
Yeah. I think this just led me to something else.
Good.
But like, when somebody gets upset about your reaction because of...
I'm about to walk off the set.
Yeah, because
that
of
like
their
a
actions.
Trauma trigger.
Yeah,
me.
and you're just like...
Because now you're mad at me, so I can't be mad at you.
Exactly. And it's
you're
just
not
like,
slick.
Your actions were intentionally... Or maybe not.
The
but
impact
it felt like
the impact. Here we are today.
Yeah. To cause a reaction from me. So then you could be mad at me. It's, yeah.
My eyes switching. I'm getting upset. And we're early in the episode. We might as well just
I'm fresh out.
Yeah, no. So let's talk. Okay, so not to get too into your business, but we're kind of both talking about like, obviously our experiences inform what we're talking about. So what are some things that, like, looking back, hindsight's 2020, were huge red flags that like you wish you would have seen waving and ran the opposite direction?
Oh, for sure. Honestly, there were so many.
Oh, Lord.
Like, there were so many.
And I'm not going to lie to you. When we talked, I was like, I pray it work out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even on no hater shit. Like, I really was like, that sounds like some shit I went through that didn't end well.
Yeah. It definitely didn't end well. Actually, it ended probably worse than what I could ever anticipate. But mainly because I just sat there being like, what the hell is going on? Like, I even laughed at, exactly. I even laughed at certain points because I was just like,
to keep from crying.
I'm also just like, how are you mad at me? Like,
how am I the problem here?
Yeah. And I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, because you're being so gaslit that you're just like,
yeah.
What? I was like, maybe I did do. And then thankfully I have amazing people in my life that were there during that situation. And they were just like, no, girl.
No, baby, it's not you.
Yeah. They were like, no, girl. And I was like, all right.
And I think as we get older,
messed me up. Yeah.
It's like you can kind of smell the bullshit a little. For sure. Stronger.
But I also think, and this is what my issue was, is that in the beginning of this experiment, we'll call it, it was like I was being treated really well. And you know, was my best friend on top of it. You know, like I told this person everything. It was like, you know, he wanted me to trust him. And I made it clear that it was really hard for me to trust.
Pause.
Yeah.
He wanted me to trust him.
I know.
That's true tea. Yeah. Because they want you to trust them so they know your weaknesses. Yeah. So when it's time for shit to go left, they can play on them.
I know. If I could go back, I definitely would be like,
why you want me to trust you so bad? Because honestly, when you think about trust, I'm working through this. It's something that is built. For sure. Like, it's earned. For sure. I'm such a like, hey, I love you so much. Like, thank God to everybody.
And to
like,
be completely fair, in the beginning, like he was like
trustworthy.
Really,
well, they are. They have to show their like, Sunday suit in the beginning. Yeah. So you fall for it.
So I was like, oh my gosh. And also, again, it was like, you know, it was just a different connection than I've ever experienced. It was like, you know,
crazy.
Something where I was so comfortable with somebody, like, right away. And
that'll
like,
do it.
It just felt like it's really hard for me to connect people like that. And so I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
this is different. This is
different. This is my person.
Yeah.
And then.
I'm not laughing. Lord have mercy.
But there was a lot of toxic traits.
There were little comments and things that he would do.
Yeah, like little comments here and there, especially when we started to get closer. And then also just like the whole never, like there will always be like problems or drama. Oh, that's another thing too. When someone says, "I don't want drama," but then causes all
the drama.
Yeah, it causes.
Oh my gosh,
the drama.
I'm like really, really triggered. Like dude, you weren't there for my situation.
Yeah,
but
I think there's a book out there. Like there's a book out there where they all read it.
It's a group text.
Yeah,
and they have to be like entering stage 6.
Yeah,
like because what are you on? Like,
yeah,
can
and how
we
do
just
you
fucking
all
sit
do
here and breathe?
thing?
Like, can we just watch a movie?
Yeah.
Because what's going on, especially for us that are highly empathic people, this is like a really, really, really big thing. Red 100%. Flag. If you're highly empathic or sensitive or whatever, we attract the foolishness because they know that we care.
Yeah, and also we're so Like, I remember just being like, oh, he's going through a lot. Oh, I don't want to like.
Now I'm
I don't want to like whatever. So I'd walk on eggshells. You know? And it's just like, and then, it's like time, but then you're emotionally attached.
Totally.
So then you're just like, you start
easier
to just
said
kind of
than
ignore
done.
it. And then I was just like, okay, wait, a lot of these things are not okay. And honestly, it was when one of my friends, she was going through a relationship and some of the stuff she was telling me, I was like,
absolutely
that is not healthy. And then I was like,
wait a minute.
Hold on.
Are you telling me my situation? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, for real.
No, and I think that is like why spotting red flags and having discernment up front is so important, especially if you're a person that falls hard, falls fast, whatever. Like, you really have to pump those brakes on yourself.
That's why I think that's why I always had a thing where like I don't really like people. Like I don't. It takes me a lot. It's harder when you don't like people, because
if you like somebody, you like, oh, this is it.
And
we get married.
Like, that's what happened.
Same.
I was like,
same way.
Yeah, like it takes me so like I think I'm that thing where it's like, what is it, demisexual, where like you have to have an emotional connection with somebody to find them attractive. And
physically at all, like you don't see nobody on the street.
Like I see
you're
someone
cute.
and I'm like, oh, you're cute, but I like am not like, I'm not really attracted to you, but I admire that you're an attractive person. Does that make sense?
Are you interested in them?
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, they're cute, but like
there's got to be way more to it than that.
Yeah, like I can't, like I just
think I'm that way too.
Like I can't have like random hookups.
I can't. Yeah,
like I have to
what
have
am I here
an emotional connection with somebody.
Absolutely.
And,
damn, maybe I'm that. Hashtag Demis.
Yeah, no, I literally, because I was like, is there something wrong with me? Because like,
no, I look around and I'm like, how are y'all just, when everyone's like, have a roster, and I'm like, bro, I don't have the bandwidth.
I'm such a,
I can't talk to the one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's taking a couple of days.
I'm
to
like,
get a response.
I can't do that. Like even for this dude, I ignored so many people and like nothing, and I'm just like,
it's always that way when you're like in the situation, and then the minute you're single, it's like, hello.
No, literally.
But I feel like when you're not, like when you're not looking, it's like, and I'm like, then all of a sudden I break up and everybody gets in a relationship.
Dude,
weird.
Real.
So give me like an example for the people at home, so they could be like, okay, this sounds like some weird vibes, but like, how can I know that my situation might be that? Like when you said comments, you don't have to give your personal business, but just like certain things. Like I would say the walking on eggshells is very big red flag. Like if you feel like y'all are just having a normal day and then all of a sudden the energy just shifts in the car and you don't know why, that's probably a red flag in my experience.
Yeah, stuff like, also just comments about like what you're wearing, I think.
Ooh, I was gonna say like another thing before you get into those examples is like them being really dismissive.
Super
like
dismissive,
anything, and this could be, mind you, now you don't have to be in a relationship with like a narcissistic personality disorder person.
Yeah,
or it doesn't even have to get that far. Like you don't even have to be like deep feelings. But if you say to somebody like, "Hey, you fell off the face of the earth," and then they're like, "Hee, hello." You know what I mean? Whether they mean that or not. Like, there's another side to it where you have to communicate. That's the part I'm working on. But at the same time, like, people can't read your mind. But also, if you do communicate and you do your part and then there's something still not clicking, you probably need to reevaluate.
Yeah.
What would you say are, like, some things, like, in general, it doesn't have to be that specific relationship or anything, but just, like, he was saying stuff about what you were wearing?
Mm-hmm. And I've had a few guys do that. Honestly, like
screaming.
Yeah.
Every time I keep reacting.
And honestly, like I dress pretty modest. Like I'm
naked if anything.
Like like I have my moments where I'm wearing like a cute little dress or something. But like like it would be stuff like that where if like a man is making comments when you're not, I understand if you're like going out naked and maybe, you know, whatever.
Right.
But even then, it's
show.
just like, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like if you started a relationship with someone, they probably were already dressing
that
way.
part. I was about to say that. Thank you.
You know, but like in my circumstance, I'm like, I was like, wouldn't even be wearing anything crazy.
Like, should I have on
a fucking turtleneck?
I was about to say, what's the thing that they wear that starts with a B? I don't want to butcher anyone's culture, but that.
Yeah.
No, literally, he wanted you head to toe covered.
Yeah.
Scared. Anyway, well, with that, I'm laughing that you said typically if you start the relationship with someone, like you already know what it's giving, because I think my brother and I were actually having this conversation and I was like, don't make me cuss you out, because I think it's so funny when, especially now with social media, like pretty much if you meet someone virtually or the old-fashioned way, which apparently happens, you already know what it's giving. Like you already know, like when you go to their socials, right? Like how Jonah Hill had that whole thing where he like messaged his ex and was like, I can't believe that you would be wearing bikinis, and she was a surfer and I surfed when you met me. Like what? There's some weird thing going on. I think what we're getting at is like a red flag being controlling or like wanting to change you and restructure you in a way that is like who you are versus like what will better you.
100%. But I've also realized, like, if people have a lack of trust in you, it's usually because of something they're doing. Because, like, it's like...
Oh, God.
You know?
God. Oh, God. I never thought... It doesn't matter. I'm not going to change anything.
No,
I
know.
Whoa.
But I realized that because I'd be like... Yeah, like, I would be like, I spend all my time with you.
Where could I be?
Yeah, like...
I go here into the bathroom.
Yeah. You know, or if I'm out with my friends, like, you know, I don't, again, like I said, I don't get attracted to people. I meet people out all the time and I'm not attracted to them.
Why would I be with you? What? Like, that's the thing.
Oh,
why would I be with you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm grown. Yeah. No one's forcing me to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
And if someone is,
especially
you need
on
to
Friday nights, like,
use the resources and get away from them.
Yeah.
And then with social media and virtual meeting, even though you've kind of been an organic girly of late.
No, yeah,
but you do the apparoonies.
I have apps, but
I have them. I have apps on my phone. I have games.
Yeah, like I rarely, like I have like Raya and stuff like that, but
Raya is like a magazine. I just see people on there, but I don't think there's actually like a matching capability. No shade to them.
No, and also like
Bumble, like I'm more of a bumbler. However, I'll never really message. So, like, how's it going to work, girl?
No, like,
I just be matching with people up top. And I'm like,
that's my thing.
Do I want to message you?
Again, I will, you know, see people and be like, oh, they're cute, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't have any emotional tie to you. So,
and
like,
I know I'm going to get one pretty quick. So, let's just see.
And even then, like, I don't. Like it takes me a long time to like really like start to like somebody.
That's good. I need to take long.
How these like most guys that I've dated or like been with or whatever, it's like because we started off as friends, you know. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, you're kind of cute, and like, oh, I kind of like you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then it grows into that.
I've experienced that, and I think I might have a little bit of a fear of it now, just because. Not me #realizing stuff. I feel like you lose a friend as well when that relationship
literally
goes
that's
away.
Why it hurts so bad.
And then you look at it kind of like, damn, were you ever my friend? Because if you could treat me this poorly, like I remember I used to be like, we were friends to my ex, like, because I used to be like, it's me, like, hello, you.
Honestly, and that's what was hard about this last one is that like that really was my best friend, and that was like the person that I was so close to for like however like 6 months or something, and it's just like. It's like, you know, that's where I was just like, I wish we didn't even like get it.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I wish we didn't even. I mean, yes.
I wish I never met your ass.
I actually would have preferred that for sure.
Screaming.
But he did teach me. He did help me. Like, I guess
we grew,
kind of
whatever.
Because I didn't think I would ever like feel that type of way for somebody. I didn't think it was possible. Like really, yeah.
That's a good point. Honestly,
yeah.
They
So I'm
made
grateful
you realize.
for that. You know, and there was a lot of good moments during that. But it's also just like. The healing that has had to come because of everything, because again he was my best friend. Yeah, you know, it wasn't just like a romantic thing either. It was just like that was my like person. Yeah, you know, like if anything happened, that was like who I would tell. Right. So I think in that aspect I do think you should marry your best friend, but I also am like, you have to be really sure, and you have to be willing to lose the friendship too if like something happens.
We really are on Demi Lovato kick, not ruin the friendship. Like we're on our Demi stuff today. Truly, you have to be willing to risk #risk it all. Well, anything is a risk, right? Like if I meet a man tomorrow on an application, that's a risk. In the same way, it's like, oh, my friend. Like you would hope. You know, the friendship being a basis is like. But you know what? Sometimes I would say if you struggle with like worrying about, you know, how they feel about you, or like on the romantic side of things, it does help that like we came into this dating, because I'll be in my head like at my wedding, like, so like friends, right? At the altar. For sure. You like me as a pal.
No, for sure. Like my situation, definitely I needed lots of reassurance that he even liked me, because I was just like,
we just vibing.
We started out as kind of friends, but like your intention was to never be friends.
Who knew?
Like,
so
know?
were we friends? Yeah,
like,
no, because now I'm thinking.
I mean,
too
we're
hard.
Kissing. I don't.
I don't kiss my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this, honey?
Kiss my friends.
Oh my gosh. You know. I would say also, speaking of digital, for the girlies at home and the he, she, theys, whomever. What is like a red flag? This is funny though. Like red flags on dating apps or social media. I know there's that joke of like, why is the man are you posting on your story?
Oh, you mean like Instagram guys?
But like, oh, I don't know. It's hard in LA. I will say like,
because
if you in Montana, there is no reason for that man to be so active on social media. That's crazy.
I have some amazing friends that are in entertainment, and so like
they have to. It's their job.
And also like
it's their job.
But like, you know, and so like they'll be posting those all day long. But like, I don't know. I think it's kind of hard, because I've definitely met people where their social media presence is completely different than like who they are in person.
Very true.
So I try not to judge people.
I fear it might be
off
myself.
Of that. Yeah, I try not to judge.
I'm looking at the woman in the mirror asking her to change her ways. That's fair.
Yeah,
I would say like if for me. To be hee. If you like holding a fish in its jaws,
and
I like
100% actually. If there's any hunting, I'm out.
I don't need to see, personally for me as a black woman, like if you in your bio talking about proud American swipe. Because what are you talking about? Why are we talking about being American? And we know that we're here. So that's weird, because that's giving me you voted against me in the last election. Yeah? It's giving me, where were you on January 6th?
Oh my God.
That's what I'd be wanting to swipe up. Where were you, really quick before we proceed?
So funny.
What else? Probably like too many shirtless. Like, what's going on? What are we selling here?
Yeah.
And
true.
I'm so picky. I could be here all day on this. I don't really care for like, why are you taking a mirror pic?
But you also have to remember there's a double standard in that, because like think about the girls and their bikinis.
I would only post. I don't even think I have for real like a bikini photo on an app.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
I don't.
When
either,
I was younger, maybe.
But like, yeah.
But now it's like, I don't mind seeing what you got.
Yeah,
like,
no,
I'm happy to know you working with it.
Yeah.
But if it's 3 photos on your profile, 3 words, and every single one is like
100%,
and you're like,
or if you're not in the fitness, I think for me, I'm like, if you're in the fitness industry, yeah, whatever. Like you're, you know, being like, work with me. Okay,
I'm recruiting clients on the apps.
Oh, you're talking about dating. I'm talking about Instagram.
I was moving into dating apps, but both. They kind of, I mean, your online presence.
Well, no, because dating apps, like if you're having,
this is what you wanted me to see. Like, you chose this.
No, like you're strictly on there for hookup culture, 100%.
You think?
Yeah. If
you don't think people are really trying to meet on the apps?
No. I mean, like if you're posting like
yeah. You're like
your
I don't
intentions
plan on
are
putting
very
my shirt
clear
on
for like what you're wanting to be on there.
So
Yeah.
Oh, since the panoramic, it's like. How is life going on? And then sometimes I feel like, is my life going on?
Yeah. That's honestly how I've felt for the last like 6 months maybe, or like not even like a year, honestly. I feel like my life was in such a weird standstill where I needed to make so many changes. Yeah. I felt a lot of changes, but I was really comfortable in because I was in the crush like stage, and like,
you feel like he
kind
of
hanging out.
You held yourself back by relation to that.
I wouldn't say like,
I want to put it on
it's just like, you know, where everything else in your life, you know, could use work, but you're in such a bubble kind of with like
I miss
a new, it's like really nice. I mean, I love having that feeling of like getting excited when somebody texts you or like talking to someone every day. I love that feeling. Was it worth it? You know, yes, I guess, you know.
And I think that's the thing about red flags. It's like training yourself to be like, danger,
For sure.
Go the other way, not
And
danger.
you know what? You know what's crazy is that there was one night where I was like not attracted. I was like so not attracted to him, like something from like that week. And I just remember being like,
the ick.
Yeah, major ick. And I was just like,
not major ick.
And in my head, I was like, there's something like not right, you know? And I'm like,
God was like,
I need to like kind of step back,
yeah,
kind of feeling. But, you know, it kind of just started to pass with like a few days, and you know, and we talked every day, and I'd see him every day, and so it would be like it kind of just passed, and then I was like, no, like I think it was just like a weird moment for me. But I had so many moments like that where I would have like a clear being like, that's a red flag, and it's like not cute.
That's what I was literally about to ask you, was discerning what is like a mistake or a bad moment versus red flags.
And also here's something that's hard, because I can be emotionally avoidant too. And
apparently I found this out about myself.
Yeah.
As well.
And it's a form of protection. I think a lot of us that have dealt with abandonment,
I have to
whatever.
protect myself, so
yeah.
Tell me why I shouldn't.
100%. So in those moments, I would blame it on being like, oh, it's because we're getting super close, and so
I'm looking
for something to
baby,
like.
It's in your face. I fear.
Exactly.
Keep bringing the issues to you. Your eyes are closed. 100%. Actually, you're blind.
But like you try to like be like, oh, this is just me being avoidant, or like me, you know, wanting not to get hurt. Yeah. The irony. So
I tried.
Yeah, I tried so hard.
I think too, it's like that's another thing is overthinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this big age that I'm getting into, because I love it though. Yeah. Like I love to be like, what do you think he meant by this? What is it? And it's like at this big age, for some reason, 27 is just hitting me like, for what?
Yeah. I also think it's like,
it's a waste of time.
It's such a waste of time, because at the end of the day, people are going to like, they have ulterior motives for their actions that you don't know, and they will probably never tell you. And in my case, what I've learned is that if you try to address it, sometimes you're gaslit into thinking there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, then you're looking at yourself crazy.
And then you're looking at yourself being like, am I crazy? Yeah. Especially if the person is calling you crazy. That's another thing too. If somebody is actively calling everybody else around them crazy, it's like everybody's
against you, and you're the common denominator. Like, so what does that mean?
I've never been called crazy in my life. Except for, you know, like fun ways, but
you're so crazy.
Not like clinically crazy.
Well, anyway, that's a different episode.
Yeah,
I would say like even with that though, like for me, the overthinking all of that stuff, is looking at someone. I think we're always like, oh, look at his actions. If he wanted to, he would. Like,
well, and that's the thing though. Like his actions were very like.
But I was about to say, watch his words and his actions.
For sure.
Because his words. Yeah. If a man says or a person says to you, "You're too good for me. I don't deserve you. You just believe they ass and pack up your bag and go." Like 100%. I cannot express to you enough, especially as a person that's caring. You're like, no, you deserve the world. Or like you maybe like, don't. Maybe you don't deserve the world. I hate to say it. We've talked about a lot, but I do want to give the girls. I know we might need a part 2. I do want to give the people like some tips on how to escape that situation. Yeah. So if it's earlier days, right? It's like, what I'm saying, being able to spot that red flag and not go towards the flame and know that it burns you the first time.
And I think that's something that I had to learn, because
I'm still learning it.
Because
I'm forcing myself actually.
It's probably because I just don't have any interest in anybody right now. Like,
which is peaceful. Like when you were saying I love the feeling of talking to somebody, but I also love the feeling of not wondering when I'm going to get a text.
Like I went on a date and I was just like, I was like, why am I here? I was like I literally was like,
that's the worst.
Yeah.
I would like, I actually have to get somebody from the airport right now.
No, literally.
Their plane is landing as we speak.
I am not emotionally available. So it's like
it's me, not you.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, I'm not here. But yeah, it was kind of just like, I think for me, because I was so like, I don't even want to say desperate, but just like so not used to feeling this type of way about a person. I was so willing to just completely abandon myself in order to feel loved and be with this person that I thought would be like my person. And for me, that's like something I will never do again. Like I'll be like, as soon as you start treating me disrespectful, like in a disrespectful way, or start saying and doing things that are just like major red flags, you know,
Trust your gut.
Yeah, like I would just be like, hey, like I really like you, but I don't think right now is the best time for us, which I wish I did, but I didn't, because obviously I was too in it.
And get support around you, like get that accountability.
For sure.
Get those support, like your friend
I agree.
telling you their situation inadvertently made you be like, whoa, like it takes the blinders off and be open to, I think a big thing that I've learned is ultimately I have the final say because it's my life and whatever I choose, I'm gonna be the one on the floor crying, not the other people. 100%. However, you have to have people that you trust and you know they love you. Yeah. And they're only trying to look out for you and then weigh what they're saying. Literally, if you have to do a little pop quiz, ask them some things. They tell you, ooh, I don't know about this. And then he do that tomorrow.
100%. Bye. And also, you have to be willing to really listen. Because I've had a lot of friends in relationships where they'll come to me. And I will say, like, do you really want my opinion? And then they end up getting mad at you. You know, because they don't actually want to know. And
be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. And it's like, if you're coming to somebody who loves you for real advice about a situation, you have to be willing to listen, because otherwise you're just coming to vent, and then when they give you an honest answer, they put all that anger and frustration onto you instead of the person that's like actually causing the issues.
And you're mad at the situation.
For sure.
But don't alienate. Don't let someone who's not for you or something that's not for you alienate
and obviously
you.
You can spot the, like you obviously we've had people in our lives that will just try to, that are very jaded and will say anything is like,
it's like, okay,
a red flag. Like they're breathing red flag. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Not even speaking to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, isn't that weird? How dare he like me? How dare he compliment me?
Yeah, red flag, run.
Yeah, it's giving love bombing. He said I looked nice today.
Bro, that's another, also the terms, like people use narcissist and like,
I'm going to do an episode
and love
on that.
bombing
Therapy speak.
Every 5 seconds. And I'm just like, okay, let's actually.
It softens like when you need to be able to spot that shit out. And I also want to say, I'm going to put a little blurb down there, but like, you know, there are extenuating circumstances, domestic situations, and we want to be like aware of that. And this is hopefully what will help you not get into that. But if you are into that, you really need that support system and reach out to them, and don't think it's too late for you to close that chapter and step into the one that's really for you.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's time to open some bids. So the girlies were like, help. But bids on our show are just questions, letters, etc. And you can send in your questions to bidonyou@gmail.com, and we might answer them on the show. So for this week, we just kind of talked about that, but it's how do I stand on business when I see a red flag and not get weak and like stick around?
I know. It's honestly the hardest
I was like,
thing.
I hope you know, because I don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for me when I don't like someone. I spot a red flag and I'm like, peace. But when I really am into someone,
the reds be getting green.
Yeah, the reds are like, he's going through a hard time.
It's giving sunset colors.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not that bad.
He's sad. Ever since he lost his grandma in middle school, he just hasn't been the same. And he's gonna go and see the lady. He told me on Monday he made the appointment.
Honestly, I think in those moments, which wish I did, but like you have to look and be like, okay, how are the other areas of my life? Like, are the other areas of my life slowly starting to get you know, a little more troublesome? Like, how are your finances? How's your work? How are your friendships?
Shit.
That's a big one. Like, if you're starting to kind of not hang out with your friends or something, and you know, all that stuff, it's kind of just like, okay, this red flag, it's not just a little red, because we all have red flags. Like we all, and I hate saying red flags. We're humans. Yeah, we all have faults. We all have things that it's like, okay, that was a little toxic. Right. But like, can you address it? That's the thing. Yeah. If you bring it to the person's attention and they're willing to address it and be like,
let's move forward. Yeah,
let's move forward and be like, I'm sorry, like I'm still, whether it was from a past relationship, you know, it's whatever. If they're willing to work on it, that's different. But if they gaslight you or make you feel like they didn't do anything and you're being crazy, bye.
Turn it on you somehow, some way.
No, magically. Exactly. That's when you're like, that's to me is like the biggest indicator of whether it's something to be worked out or it's just for you to just let them figure it out.
And if it is like, it's so much easier said than done, but
it is, dude. I mean,
it spares you like at the front of it. I know it's people like, it's better to have love than loss, but like sometimes it's not, because that wasn't really love. Like that just was a fucking headache.
And that's what I think I need to come to terms with. It's just like, nobody that really loves you in an authentic way would ever want to hurt you. I know. Because I, you know, you think about it, and it's like someone is intentionally trying to hurt you, especially with their words, and trying to tear you down mentally. That's not love. Like, I would never do that. Even when I would
do that to my enemy.
Yeah, even when I would get in fights though with said person, like I would never ever say anything that was hurtful or at least I would try not to. Yeah. Like, and it's hard. But like, because I care for you, I'm not going to try to hurt you. You know?
Ooh, Jesus, you got me thinking about some other stuff. So let me get it together. Let's do, someone else asked, Jesus. What are like red flags in general life? So like friendships, relationships, work, etc. And I think they all kind of, I mean, relationships, like there's such a focus in our society on like romantic relationships.
No, friendships are the most important relationship I think in your life.
Everything is based off of friendship with yourself, with others. Like,
well, that's true. The most important relationship, not to be cheesy, but yeah, is yourself.
Yeah, fair. It's the bedrock of everything
because
else.
As soon as you're good with yourself, your relationships in general are going to be good because you're going to pick better people. Ooh. Whereas like if your relationship is horrible with yourself and you're in kind of a low self-worth phase of your life, you start taking any type of scrap somebody's giving you. Yeah. And
that's a red flag. Watch out.
That's a red flag, yeah.
Scraps, watch out for people. I mean, I think innately deep down, no matter how deep it is, no matter what you've been through, when something is not the best for you.
100%.
And so it's like, if it's every time you call that friend, you get a little sick in your stomach, red flag.
Yeah.
If that job has your blood pressure through the sky, red flag. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like anything, you really have to trust your intuition and your gut because it's there for a reason.
100%.
And really, ultimately, the biggest lesson I've had from previous relationships, whatever, is the past few years is I'm proud of. It's like I've learned to trust myself.
Yeah. And
when you trust yourself, you can spot the shit, show up for yourself and for those around you effortlessly because you're not like it's less tiresome. Like every day I'm not like decision fatigue. I'm literally like, I trust me. And we're going to get through it one way or another.
For sure. Yeah. And honestly, that's really hard.
Oh, it is. When I just said it just then, I was like, are we doing that actively? But that's the goal.
I know. You really have to keep yourself accountable because it's so easy to just be like, I've even recently.
I be wanting to just not grow.
No, like literally. Like especially, oh my God. Like,
people just seem like they're being bad and everything's fine. Like, so I'm curious about it.
Like twitching because these last few months have been so bad. But it's like, obviously, like you have those moments where you do need to feel what you're feeling and be sad and think it's the end of the world. And then you need to be like, okay, I can either stay in this energy and let myself keep playing a victim or be like, okay, how can I use this to better me and like move forward and, and create change?
How can I keep writing this story?
Yeah, exactly. Because like, as humans, that's what you got to do. You got to keep going,
I fear.
But that doesn't mean ignore. And that doesn't mean push everything down. But it means like deal with it in a healthy way.
And
breath work, meditation.
Not around it.
Exactly. Feel what you need to feel, but also be proactive in your life.
Be proactive in feeling it so you can move forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then on that note, before we let you go, we like to do this little ending question that's all about you, my darling. So we like to ask our guests moving forward. Not rip. You basically just said it, but knowing what we know now, how are you going to bid on you moving forward?
I am putting all of the love that I put into people into myself, making myself better, making my career better.
Talk to them.
Like focusing.
New music.
Yeah, so much. Oh, I've written so much music.
And it's coming out.
Yeah.
Plug.
But yeah, I'm really focusing. I mean, I've had a lot of good things happen, honestly, because I have thrown myself into work.
Yeah.
But it's been great because it's like nothing is better than heartbreak, honestly.
It's the biggest motivator.
Yeah, it makes you just like really. It's like blinders are ripped off, and you're just like, whoa, okay, like my life. I'm gonna have a glow up in every type of way. Like it really gives. I am the glow. Yeah, literally.
Boom.
Yeah.
So, I love that.
Yeah.
Proud of you, and I can't wait to hear it.
Thanks, baby.
We'll have you back when it drops.
Yes.
Thank y'all for watching. We hope this helps you, and we can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for coming, my love.
Thank you for having me.
Mwah. Bye.